aviation with the Gambia. Forget about aviation. Which plane is here to fly to Switzerland? The only planes flying here are human beings behaving like witches and wizards, trying to bring back young people who risk their lives to get to better places where they can get jobs. So it's a migration agreement. I read that agreement at night. I read it in the morning because I don't want to make a mistake when I'm dealing with these issues. And I don't want to accuse this government of something that's false. Inside that agreement, I'm glad that it looks like Fatu Network finally published it today. They're clearly saying part of the agreement is the identification of Gambians in Switzerland and the issue of return documents. One of the issues that President Jammeh categorically refused to do, even for America, because he was not going to facilitate the deportation of Gambians who risked their lives, sold their families' treasures and land, and traveled for better opportunities that their own government cannot provide for them. So what happened was, what they signed is very clear. It's a deportation agreement signed by Momodou Tangara and Aissatou Touré, who was insulting our young people here that they don't want to work. They signed an agreement to deport young Gambians here. It's out there in the open. It's even on Fatu Network.
Now, I have reached out to the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sekou Cissé, and he has actually responded. He says government has not signed any cooperation agreement with Swiss authorities for the deportations of Gambians, and they will never do that because they are aware of the amount of support the diaspora contributes to the economic growth of the country.
Let me just cut it there. The fact that you have to reach out to Sekou Cissé to get that information is the very proof that government actually signed a deportation agreement. Sekou Cissé, the communication officer of the foreign ministry, even if Tangara coughs on the phone with his counterpart, he would send a press release and you guys would publish it. Did he deny that Tangara and Dr. Touré were in Switzerland? No, he didn't. Why didn't he send you a press release? Because he knew that they actually signed a deportation agreement. Nothing more, nothing less. That's exactly what happened. They signed the deportation agreement, and Sekou cannot deny that. And by the way, there's a background to this story. There have been accusations left, right, and center. They've tried to tarnish the image of people like my Fati. But it's only in October of this past year, if you remember, that Sankare, the government's town crier, came out openly and said they actually signed an agreement with Europe because one of his reasons, fatuous, vicious, and malicious, he said if they don't do it, the price of bread would rise from $7 to $20. What a joke.
So how about this aviation part? You think that was just a farce?
I think it's a cover-up. Ban aviation, ban plane mo fi nek pour now. Nit yi ñoo dé now fi government officials comme Duma ñu dem sign agreement pour ñu délo ay innocent Gambians bi nga xamné when they are traveling to that place, the risk they are risking their very lives. That's witchcraft for me. To go and sign an agreement to deport those people, for me that's witchcraft.
But another thing we've also seen recently, a very, very sad situation, is the recent deaths of Gambian migrants, especially in Italy.
Yes.
Sabally, what do you expect of government in situations like this?
Well, this government does not care. And now I don't expect anything of them because they've shown us consistently that they don't care about the welfare of Gambians. And it's very sad and heartbreaking that a government that, you remember Barrow, post-2016, there was no single speech that he would make without singling out the Gambian diaspora for their support on social media, for their financial contribution to the so-called struggle that brought about change. Those same people, this government has not lifted a single stick to improve their welfare, to negotiate for them. What they did is some lousy policy document, some migration project by some professor that you never hear about again, you know, calling the diaspora the 8th region. The 8th region will no longer be there because they're signing agreement, they're traveling to deport these people. You're right. We're hearing of people getting mad, actually, mental stress in the streets of Morocco, in the streets of Italy, in Germany, people dying. And this government has done nothing to ameliorate their condition. And I know it is within their power. I've served in government. I know there are limits, but I know the certain things that they can do. They are not doing it because they don't care about these migrants, especially now that President Barrow himself went out of his way to antagonize the diasporans and call them Bafeño because he believes they don't support him any longer. It's a deliberate policy.
Like I said, almost every week we hear about someone dying, and it's always the people out there trying to find the family, trying to find the funds to repatriate them. And when people die, do you think that the foreign ministry could have formed their own team to try to investigate what exactly is happening out there?
No, absolutely. But even before they die, Sayo, I speak to a lot of people outside this country, people who actually care about these young people. With this lockdown, coronavirus and issues, things are very tough, even for citizens of Europe. Talk less of our migrants. Some of them are sleeping in parks. This government made no effort to try to use at least this exceptional situation to negotiate for better living conditions of our people. They don't care. If you don't care for somebody when he is living, do you think you'll care about that person when he's dead? It's very sad and unfortunate. I think the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they call it Foreign Affairs and Gambians Abroad. The second part should be scratched. It's just the Ministry of Foreign Affairs begging and personal interest of government officials. That's the official name of that ministry.
How efficient do you think is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Absolutely, they're totally incompetent, inefficient. Which creative move have you seen this foreign ministry done in this crisis period? And I repeat, especially the coronavirus period gave us an opportunity to reach out to these people. We know the condition of our brothers and sisters there is not good. I mean, the whole world was focused on this. We could have leveraged this opportunity to seek funds, to seek for better arrangements for the living conditions of our young people, boys and girls in Europe and America.
And Sabs, the country definitely have been rocked with one of the biggest drug scandals. Yes. Yeah, and Gambians really seem to be outraged about it, but it seems government hasn't come out to issue even a single word about it. But we will get to that part because because they have not said anything, yes, everyone is flying with their own allegations of stuff. But I want to know, what do you think in your mind? Yeah. Can you give us a mental scenario of what you exactly think is happening or happened?
My mental scenario is simple. It's a Mandinka proverb. Ninjalo fangosingo be forangang tantangote kosila. Gewel bi si bopam su tege tankam bi si banta bu ñoo tege sabar bi sabar bobu du tega. The government has the security, they have the intelligence, they have the guns, they have the international cooperation and leverage to be able to tackle these things and to get real-time information and share it with the people. If the government is not talking, people are not getting the information. The people who are allegedly involved are not arrested and detained, then the government knows something that we don't know. The sad thing is, Sayo, we all know.